Okay, hello everyone. Actually, I am not home right now, and so I am actually recording using iPad and teaching on an iPad. So some things might be harder to use, or yeah, just harder for me to use and unfamiliar. So this time we're going to multiply up to double digits. Actually, much more. But wait a minute, did we do this last week? Yes, absolutely. But because I believe that we didn't spend too much time enforcing multiplication learning it, this point of the process will be faster, and fast multiplication is fast division. And this one's more just brute force multiplication, like 2 times 6 is 12, 12 times 12 is 444. More than anything, last week was more of the concept of multiplication. So, so how can we skip? One of the first skip involves the distribution property. It's simply where A times B plus C is equal to A times B plus A times C. For example, this is 60 times 41 is equal to 6 times 40 plus 6 times 1. Well, that's just simply 240 plus 6. That's 246. Now, let's continue. Is there another one? Is this? Yes, there is. It's not the only way. There's a similar way, but instead of adding or subtracting, it's if you round like 46 times 46. You can round up 46 to 50, so it's 50 times 46 minus 4 times 46. 50 times 46 is equal to 5 times 10 times 46 is equal to 30, 20, so that's 230. So that's 2,300 minus 4 times 46, which is um, on the 60, 24, so that's 184, which is some number. I'm not quite sure how to calculate currently, but don't worry. There's some beautiful magic of having a calculator. Especially this is math class, and calculators aren't that good. So, let's continue on. Or you can just subtract this, but unfortunately right now I don't have some paper for you. Let's continue. So, what's the fastest way? As I said yesterday, the fastest way is just simply memorization. The how, the how much. Most of the time, just knowing up to the 9 times table is enough for you to solve any multiplication equations. Like 8 times 9 is 80, can be split into 8 and 9, and more and such. So, what can we do with this? Let's go look. Let's see if the video will play.
What we're going to do in this video is dig a
Hmm, doesn't seem to play. Yeah, let me put this on the mic.
bit deeper into our understanding of multiplication. And just as an example, we're going to use 4 times 7. And some of you might know what 4 times 7 is, but even in this case, I think you might get something from this video because we're going to think about how you can break down a multiplication question into simpler parts. And that's going to be useful well beyond 4 times 7. It's going to be useful in your future when you're tackling more and more complicated things. Now, there's a couple of ways that we can visualize 4 times 7. My favorite way is to visualize it with angry cats. So let's bring on the angry cats. Yep, they're still angry. And we can see that this is a representation of 4 times 7. We have 4 rows right over here, 4 rows, and each of those rows have 7 cats. And so you can see that right over here. Each of those rows have 7 cats. Some people would call this a 4 by 7 grid or 4 by 7 array, whatever, however you'd want to view it. But if someone were to ask you what's the total number of cats, it would be 4 rows times 7 columns, 4 times 7. Now, another way to represent 4 times 7 is also with a tape diagram. You might see something like this, where here we're visualizing it as 7 fours, or you could view it as 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Now that's all well and good, and you can add that up if you like. But what I promised you is that we would figure out ways to break down things that might simplify things in the future. Well, what if you didn't know what 4 times 7 is, but you knew what 4 times 5 is, and you knew what 4 times 2 is? Well, what's interesting is that 7 is 5 plus 2. So what if we tried to first figure out this many cats? So 4 rows and 5 columns right over there. And then we tried to figure out this many cats, 4 rows and 2 columns. And you can see that it's the exact same number of cats. So one way to think about it is 4 times 7 is the exact same thing as 4 times, and I'm going to use parentheses, and that just means to do that part first, is equal to 4 times. Instead of 7, I could write that as 5 plus 2, because that's what 7 is. So all this is saying is 4 times 7 is the same thing as 4 times 5 plus 2, where you do the 5 plus 2 first because we have those parentheses around it, and 5 plus 2 is indeed equal to 7. And we can see that that is equivalent to the total number of cats that we have here, which we could view as what we just circled off in this orangish pink color, which would be 4 rows of 5. So that would be equal to 4 times 5, 4 times 5. And then to that, we can add this second group of cat heads or angry cat heads, and that is 4 rows of 2. So that's 4 times 2. And we could put parentheses if we want, just to make it a little bit more readable. Now, why did I do that? Well, some folks might find 4 times 5 a little bit more straightforward. I could skip count by 5. I can go 5, 10, 15, 20. Also, 4 times 2 might be a little bit more straightforward. And so it could be easier to say, hey, this is just going to be 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 4 times 2, which is equal to 8. And so that is just going to be equal to 28. And you could have thought about it the same way down here with what is sometimes called a tape diagram. We could say, all right, if I have 5 4s, that's this amount right over here. That is the 4 times the 5. And then I could add that to the 2 4s, the 4 times the 2 right over here. And that's another way to get to 4 times 7. So the big picture here is, even if you're not dealing with 4 times 7, even if you're not dealing with angry cats, and in most of our lives we actually try to avoid angry cats, there might be a way to break down the numbers that you're multiplying into ones that you might be more familiar with. I'll give you one more example. Let's say someone were to ask you, well, what is 6 times 9? Pause this video and see if you can break this down in some useful way. What we're going to do in this video is dig a little bit deep.
That was a complete accident. Wait, can I fix it? No. Wait, yeah. Oh, I am so sorry. I accidentally messed that up. Is there a way I can fast?
What we're going to do in this video is dig.
We were here.
10 minus 1. Based on exactly what we just did up here, that says that this whole thing is going to be the same thing as 6 times 10, 6 times 10, minus 6 times 1. One way to think about it is I just distributed the 6. That's the distributive property right over there. And then 6 times 10 is equal to 60. And then 6 times 1 is equal to 6. And it might be easier for me to say, hey, 60 minus 6 in my head, that's equal to 54. So I know what some of you are thinking. 6 times 9 seems so clean, and now I've involved all of this other symbols, and I've written down more numbers. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to give you skills for breaking down problems, and including ways that you might want to do it in your head. If you're like, hey, I'm kind of foggy on what 6 times 9 is, but 6 times 10, hey, I know that's 60, and 6 times 1, of course, that's 6. Well, what if I view this as 6 times 10 minus 1? And then I could tackle it and get 54. And once again, you might know 6 times 9. You might know 4 times 7. But in the future, it might be useful for bigger and bigger numbers to think about, how can I break this down?
Okay, that was an excellent explanation by people at Khan Academy. So let's see some practice.
What we're
Yeah, we'll ignore the break because I went fast. So let's look at properties of multiplication first. Okay, guys, I don't know if people are late or not. I am gonna go on and talk. So we have not seen this quite yet, but let's have some properties of multiplication. H times G equals G times H. That is simply, well, first of all, a commutative property is where like A plus B is equal to B plus A. Associative would be A plus parentheses B plus C is equal to parentheses A plus B and parentheses plus C. Identity will just be H is equal to H. Distributive is as I've explained before. So this will be, well, commutative. Now, what's zero property? As that's a new one. Zero property is, well, A times zero is zero. Let's do that. So about what shows the associative property of multiplication. Well, as I said, parentheses A plus B and parentheses plus C is equal to A plus parentheses B plus C and parentheses. Or this be same as, but that will be the same as D was 3 times parentheses 7 times 1 equal to, and parentheses 3 times 7 and parentheses times 1. What about this? S equals S times S. Well, S is equal to S, so this is identity. But K times M minus K times minus K times N, that is equal to K times M minus N. As we know, A times B plus C is equal to A times B plus A times C. Or anything so much as, so this will be distributive. Let's go keep going. 7 times 9 times 1 is equal to 7 times 9 times 1. This will be associative, as only the parentheses are moved. Let's continue. Now, what would this be? Would anyone know? Well, this will in fact be zero property because anything times 0 is 0. Now, what shows the identity property? Well, which one's equal to each other? Here 6. 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2 times 7, that's 9 itself. Or only in this one is where it's equal to itself, where 6 times 6 is equal to itself. Now what about this one? This one will simply just be flipped, so the commutative property. What about this one? As we know, A times B plus C is equal to A times B plus C times C. As I've already said multiple times today, this one will be distributive, and that's the Berry limit. So let's take this. Well, I'll be right back as I sort this out. Yeah, I'm really sorry for the difficulties we're having, as I'm not used to using, say, a mobile device to present a meeting like this, right? So I'm very sorry. Oh, and now let's take this one and paste it here. Okay, so now let me go back to the settings screen. Where is it? Here we go. and share content. Well, let's share the screen again. Now let's go back to this. As distributed, we can note this. Now we simply the same as this one. Order does not matter too much in properties, however, something known as PEMDAS is very important. But, well, let's look at PEMDAS. And, yeah, I would have a slide for this, but as it currently would not work under the circumstances how I'm presenting. So let's go with this image. Order of operations basically is PEMDAS, first with parentheses, then goes by exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. When you have an equation, you always must start from the parentheses, left to right. You solve anything within parentheses, and then you must solve anything with exponents. Then anything that is multiplication or division, then finally addition and subtraction. You can never do addition and subtraction first, multiplication, division second, unless those are the only things. Then that'll be a separate case. Then take out. No, that's not what I'm saying. Sorry, I am very absent-minded here. And as a result, this is how you do stuff. Which is why I say 1 times 2 plus 1 is not equal to, actually, back to that example. 2 times 2 plus 1 is equal to 5 and not 6, the order of operations. That's also an excellent way to show why, what's it called? 1 plus 1 is not equal to 0. I mean 3, because there is actually, in fact, if you look it up, where people will try to prove 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 using proofs. But in the end, that is actually false because it violates some properties. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the slides. So, what do we know from this? Well, we know that, and that's extremely important, that order of operations is important, and there's many different properties you can use currently to help you multiply. So let's go first on oh, it's bad order. Let's go back on the very short break. Then we shall be right back. Wait, I'll be right back. Oh, I cannot be heard. Did I just go through the entire class ranting while I could not be heard? I'm pretty sure I could be heard because the mic option on what's it called? Um, Zoom is going up and down. I think people can hear me. Yes, no. Okay, I think it's fine. I'll be right back. I used the bathroom, so be right back and then we'll continue class. Continue. Okay, so let's not just because we did this already. So let's try keeping this up to speed. So wait, I forgot. I can't do this. Wait, be right back. Movie 10. I did not forget that I can't use Safari and that I'm supposed to be using uh uh there we go. Let's represent my screen. So distribution property. Let's go. Will this be equal to? Well, from what we know, well, 5 times 2 is equal to 10. What's 5 times 7? We don't know. 5 times 7 is 35. So that'll be 35b. Right? Now, what about this one? 7 times p plus 1. Does anyone know 7 times 1? Well, that's 7. And there's no number behind p, so that'll also be a 1. But it'll be equal to 7p plus 7. Now that'll be the answer. And also, now that I remember, I can say I'm very sorry for this not as good teaching experience today. On the next class this Friday, I'll see if I can write a better class that's more suited for teaching on like mobile as I'm currently using. I'll see if there's any alternative I can do. So like teaching like this isn't as bad for you guys, the students. So yeah, now let's continue. Then what's 3 plus 3m times 2? Well, 3 times 3, the math is 9. So it's equal to 9 plus 9m. That's a minus sign. So, does anyone agree? Does anyone disagree? Yes? No? Correct? Anyone want some? You want to say yes? If you say yes, correct. Oh no. Wait, hold up. Wait, forgot about that. There you go, the problem's fixed. I am very sorry for this bad experience because I got here like 10 minutes before class. So I not really getting enough time to set up and look for everything beforehand. But yeah, I'm sorry. Then 5 times 1 speed 5 plus 3u is equal to 15u. 6 times 5 is 15. Let's try that. This class today, I might have to end slightly early because the pacing on mobiles varies slightly differently. Yeah, so I might just end this class 5 minutes earlier than usual, but I'll try my best to give my best to teach you guys. So let's begin. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 1 is 4. That's 16x plus 4. How about 3 times 3? That's simply 6. Oh, thank you. Who sent their homework? You will have a new homework next soon, as but you are in my class today. Bit unfortunate. I'll remember you. But anyways, let's continue. 2 times k is 3k, but 6 plus 2k. Wait, hold up. There might be some background sounds because someone is. I'm gonna go ask them to slightly silence it. I don't want it to affect you. Yeah, I'm sorry for that interruption. Usually I would be alone in a room, so there's no distractions. But I'm with my family outside, so yeah, I can't stop apologizing. I'm really sorry for that. Anyways, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 20, so it's 20p. Let's answer 3 more questions. 7 times 7w is equal to 49, plus 49w plus 7. Keep 7 times 1. 1 times 19 is the same number. Now we've got 3 plus 3r. That's just 3 times 3, which is 3 plus 9. So that's 3 plus 3r. Now for the last question, 3 times 4j plus 2. So that's just 12. Is 3 times 4. Is how much do we know? It's 12. So that's 12j plus 2. That's 6. That's 12j plus 6. And that's correct. Now I will stop this and I will go look, reshare the content after I find the second link. So now we're doing multiply up to 12 again, but this time it's for speed. So it might require a couple resets. Here. Now, let's share. Honestly, I feel really bad and really sorry that there's a lot of technical difficulties that I'm going through today, and it really should not affect you, but yeah, it is. So yeah, let's continue. Then speed. 5 times 4, 20. What else? 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 5 is 20. 3 times 5 is 15. Oh, let me see what there is before. Wait, so that's what else is that? Alright, so world's hardest problem. They will know what 1 times 1 is. Guesses? Any guesses?
1 plus 1 is 1.
Yes, it's 1. Let's go. Let's go. 4 times 1. It's
4.
yes. 5 times 5.
25.
Yes. What 3 times
12.
4?
12.
Yes. You need the speed. Okay. Now let's reset.
12.
Yes. Wait, I need to reset this. Otherwise, Excel's going to tell me to go pay the money again. And reset. Bay State. No. Can't copy. Anyways, that's back here. Share my content, share my screen. Wait, can I even share my... Oh wait, I did copy it. I'm very sorry to everyone. Here you go, now I share my screen. If I can hit the share button. There we go. Button 1, kids. Button 1, real hard.
It's 5.
Yes. 3 times 3?
9.
Yes. 2 times 4?
8.
Yes.
12.
Yes. You can get 100.
15.
Yes.
0.
Yes.
0.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
7.
Yes, that's the last one.
0.
Alright. Well, yes. I'm going to stop right there because Excel's going to kill me if I start to steal the money. Yeah, let's take this one now. Now let's try doing something else. Copy and paste. And where is my Zoom? Here I present my screen once again. Let's go to broadcast. And let's go to Chrome. I don't know 5 times 6 times 9. I told you this.
270.
Wait,
270.
207? You sure? You absolutely sure? Well, she said the right thing. I have bad hearing. Yes. You split numbers.
40.
Yes.
27.
Yeah. Almost misheard you.
30.
Correct.
12.
Yes. Ooh, this one's hard.
480.
And you're absolutely correct. This one's harder.
133.
Ooh, the trick.
No,
Girl.
130.
Now that's correct. You know? Let me give you a hint. What's 11 times 12? We just solved this. Now what's that number squared? Might be a bit hard for you. So then you round 132 to 1 times 130, then add 132 times 2. That one might be easier. Might be easier to solve. You simply just do it this way. But that is the same as this. Times 132 plus 132 times 2. Oh wait, I sent it to her individually. Let's send this to everyone. 130 to the second power. 132 to the second power. We know 11 times 12 is 132. We have two of those. Is the same as 130 times 132 plus 132 times 2. That be the hardest thing? Well, or it shouldn't be. Anyone know the answer? Anyone up? Anyone up for a go? Mm-hmm. Anyone? Anyone? Well, no one's giving it a go. Let's try to solve this one together. So we write this in chat. Well, let's first try to solve 130 times 132. So, how would you solve this? I would probably split this into
1,007,424.
74, like this. 7474. I need to double check to see. Are you sure? Is this your answer? Wait, Oh, 172424. Sorry, I have bad hearing. So let's check that. And it's absolutely correct. Oh, now we have an easy question. 10 times 9 times 11 times 8. What's the simplest way to break this down?
7,920.
7,900 what? I'm sorry, you really have to write that in chat because my hearing's not good today because my headphones aren't working. 7,920? Did she do it the smart way? If you realize you could have done 1110 times 72. Now, well, you see 11 and a 72, so you shift it so it becomes 972 out of 0, so that becomes the correct answer. And that's exactly the right answer she got. Now, this would be the final question. Well, actually, it's not the final question, it's the final question of the first half in the answers, and it goes. Remember, you always can do 11 last because it always has the simple rule. $594. Would that be the answer? Let's check. 9 times 6 is 54. 54 plus the shift to 54 is 594, which is absolutely corrected. Correct? Now, that's the very limit. Let's stop presenting for a second and redo this entire thing. Copy. Now let's go back. share the screen. Now, this will be the final 10 before I end class. Alright, do you want to go give it a spin? Times 3 times 1. And you want? Must be real hard. Working that brain of yours. I know it's the hardest problem. It takes you more time than solving 110 times 72. Anyone want to do it correct? No? You sure? Only like 8 times 3 would be 24. Oh, well, 10 times 5 times 1. Give it a whirl. Times 5? No one? 6 times 1? No one? You'll take us? Sure? Missing the opportunity of last time? Well, okay then. 10 times 5 is simply 50. Well, 1 times 4 times 4. It's hardest thing. It's just 4 squared. I couldn't solve this. If anyone gave it to me, I had to use a calculator. What's 4 times 4 times 1? I wouldn't know. So I mistyped it and used add. So it gives me what a 4-wheel drive is. It's 4 times 4. No one takers? Sure. I memorized the answer key already. It's 16. Well, 11 times 10 times 11. You take this? Hold it up. It's just 11 squared times 10. And you take this? The other round, folks. One once, one twice. And sold to the man wearing black. Which is me, I think. I said black. Probably. Anyways, 11 times 10, no, 11 times 11, as we know, is 121. 18 times 10 is add a 0. It's 1, 2, but I can't type. 1, 2, 1, 0. So, next question, 7 times 8 times 3. Speaking of speed now. Well, the simplest way to solve it be, well, the simplest way I can see is just 7 times 3 times 8, which is equal to 21 times 8. 20 times 8 is 160, plus the 1 times 8, so that's 168. Now let's go. Final 5, kids. Come on, 8 times 8 times 6, any takers? It's only 64 times 6. Come on. The other round? No one? 64 times 6? 66. 6 squared. 384. That's possibly the right answer. Fantastic. 10 times 3 times 11 times 9. One once. One twice. And sold. The answer is 7922970. Wonderful. Next one. 9 times 3 times 9 times 5. 1 times 15. 1 times 15. 81 is the same as 3 cubed. That's the same as 3 to the 4th power times 5. 273 times 5. 1, 12215. And the answer is incorrect. Did you mistype a 2? Yes, you 100% did. Also, I missaid the number 243, not 273. I'm so sorry for that. My bad. The answer is 1215. How much questions we got left? 2 more. 8 times 2 times 4. 8 times 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 8 is 8 squared. Flashback. 64. Last question. 9 times 8 times 12. So that's the same as 9 times 96. Any takers? One once. One twice. One twice. No takers. And sold. It's 864. Now that we're done with that, let me share this screen. Because, yes. Let's share my screen. All right. So I'm going to end class 5 minutes earlier than I typically do due to technical difficulties and such. So you all have a great day and hurry up and get out of here. Actually, y'all learn more math when you get out of here. Math is always good for you. All right. So bye. Have a good day. Bye. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. And now that shall signify the leave of all of us. Thank you for taking my class. See you next time.